Part 5, Beneath the Platform. Okay, there's no info on that. That's interesting. Remember, you're no different from dogs. Worse, even. Dogs don't overthink. They don't fear. So learn from dogs. If you're told to bite, you bite. If you're told to stop, you stop. Got it? If crying gets no answer, what's the point of crying? If needs go unheard, do needs survive? In the institution, the children have few spare emotions. Obedience and conditioned real practice are their daily lessons. Behind closed doors, the obedience training never ends. The instructors clearly tolerate it. As long as they don't have to dirty their hands each time, they're happy to let natural selection do the work and discard the defective products. The director brought her here personally. What's so special about this candidate? After a few days of observation and interaction, Eleanor has to admit she's a little disappointed. In test after test, this course performance is average, or maybe lacking in any competitive drive is more accurate. She can't even read, just like the others. So what could have earned the director's favor? At least the name was unique. Wherever you are, survival of the fittest rules. Fail to grasp it, and you're gone. She lingers at the back of the line and watches older bullies knock Discord's meal to the floor. The blue-haired girl quietly picks up her food and finds a corner to sit. Feeling weak, are you? Not a bad move. She walks over and sits beside Discord like it's the most natural thing. In the afternoon, the scheduled training begins. Finish your missions. Missions. Fall behind and you'll be punished. Everyone, begin! Countless parts scattered across the table. On command, the children move as one, assemble a handgun, and chamber rounds at top speed. Eleanor, complete! The rest of the kids panic. It's their first day with this training. Some can't even tell the trigger from the safety. Roxy, Eggsy, complete! Discord, complete! The rest of you, failed. Hands out. Ugh. Eleanor steps gracefully out of line. A beat later, Discord follows. The stun gun cracks, charring the flesh of the palm until it's black and burning. The flesh child doesn't dare cry, and he backs to their knees. No one has ever doubted this place is nothing like ordinary orphanages. They're afraid of you. Discord doesn't dare look back. Standing beside the girl, she speaks barely above a whisper. Is it because you're better than them? Are they jealous? Being better than a bunch of fools is nothing to be proud of. What matters is being better than the person you were. That's worth being proud of. To Discord, Eleanor acts refined, around teachers and other orphans. Never loud, never foolish. Even when she acts out, she's never scolded. Her only quirk is that sometimes she's hard to understand. Among kids who lack schooling, that counts as an advantage. They do fear me. When you fear something, you admit it has power over you. She tells Discord which children to study and which ones she already understands completely. People should look for things that have meaning and value. Then meet the colony. Some people's value is to help others realize theirs. She says her foresight is simply a matter of understanding. Like cows and creatures are born with a sharper sense of smell than humans. But to Discord, it still feels like magic. See? He's about to slip out and quietly ask the kid in front to help him cheat. The kid in front will agree, then sneak a look around. But the one behind won't like it. He'll... let me think. He's gonna punch the kid in front of him. Ow! My nose! I hate you, sneaky cheaters! The class stops when a brawl breaks out, and the instructor storms over. Discord stares, stunned, as Eleanor's predictions come true one by one. Can you make people do what you want? No, I certainly can't. Expression crosses her face and mingles in an adult's calm within a child's innocence. All I do is to serve. I watch what someone wants, what they need most right now, what they value. Then you know more about them than they do. Then, do you understand me the way you understand them? She smiles and says nothing. Discord can already ask questions in doubt. Better than the other fools. Like, which foot I use when I step through the door next? A coin has two sides. You only get two outcomes when you toss it. The commotion ends at the whistle. The older girl strolls back into line. The younger girl realizes she's acted something dumb, flushes with embarrassment, then remembers the secret game they sealed her fate. A water portrait of an old man. A bird with outstretched wings. I'm gonna a little bit louder. Okay. She chose the old man's face, and that path led her here. The other path. So free will is a joke, an illusion. The freedom people talk about is just making limited choices inside the countless restraints. They wield freedom the way they wield power. In the end, it's the same pre-written road. Boring. Mind-numbingly boring. At the end of her sentence, the girl's voice suddenly switches back into a child's tone. She steps closer. Her shadow and breath fall over Discord. Oh dear, is that a bit too hard for you? Every window here is carefully covered so the children won't glimpse a scrap blue sky and dream of freedom. Yet the children still whisper about freedom. During breaks, they stare at clouds through the cracks and watch leaves fall with the seasons. If only they could be caught in the sky, then they could drift anywhere. Almost every child has thought this, until Eleanor said it. Discord never considered that freedom might not be a good thing. Do you want freedom? No. We should follow orders. Discord cautiously rubs at the wrist that restraints had cinched for years, and forces the words out, uncomfortable. Does a puppy want freedom? Can it run wherever it wants? The girl pictures the attack dogs in their training cages, then shakes her head slowly and severely. Then what about the strays outside? They go where they want, by who they want. They don't need anyone else's orders. Discord doesn't answer. She studies Eleanor's face, searching for the response that will satisfy her. No matter how hard a small dog tries, no matter how loud it howls, it can't become a big dog. So, no matter how much coaching you're for it, they can't turn into clouds. Discord struggles to take it in. But a small dog can still kill a big dog with the same sharp teeth and claws. I'm the only one who sees your potential. They'll underestimate you, overlook you, but you're the protagonist of this story. You're special. Prove it to me. Eleanor lets the blue-tinted gauze slide from her fingertips and walks, unbothered, from the stereo corridor to the course room. Special? Protagonist? Those words, sweet as honey, seep slowly to Discord's heart. Could she be a protagonist? Could she protect Eleanor? Become a great hero from picture books? The wind still glows with its faint, ghostly light, yet she feels as warm as if she were standing in the outdoor sun. The world gathers in new colors and begins to surge forward. In that moment, her broken childhood and all those years of wandering no longer seem to matter. By the way, would it be your left foot? My guess is that you heard it before. You've been acting like nothing's wrong while quietly protecting it all this time. She glances back with an innocent smile and speaks the words that land squarely in the heart. You like to hide important things. Is it because you've lost something before? Oh my gosh, she is such a psycho analysis. Oh my goodness. The craters adorns its eyes cold at night. Sorry. Many children linger there before bed, dragging their feet on purpose. Fool! She's tamed you, got you dancing to her tune, just so she can beat you more easily on the next test. Tag along. You'll find out soon enough how terrifying it is to be her enemy. Yeah, but she's hoping you face reality early. Cluster of kids closes in. A perfect target who never fights back is too tempting for her restless show of energy. Someone shoves her. She stumbles forward and crashes onto the ice-cold floor. Think you're special? Think you were chosen? One boy slips a four-cornered cartridge's cabinet and climbs to a high perch. He flicks his wrist and says a foot climb. The angle is off. His finger just clicks her foot before bouncing away. Miss, these things are a pain to aim. How about this? He won't go. He throws the rest of the forks at Discord. They rain down like silver, clattering into each other without pattern. Only one fork. It spins fast. The tines flashing as it draws toward the back of Discord's unprotected neck. The girl doesn't turn. Maybe she catches it in the corner of her eye, because her arm whips back on this thing. Damn! Lucky dodge! The crowd scatters in the flash, like ants doused with boiling water. Only two things can get these kids to stop in their tracks with sound alone. A whistle, or her. Eleanor, they say. The girl bites her lip, unsure whether to repeat those cruel but Eleanor's eyes light up, fixing the fork that stuck away and now sits buried in the wall. as expected. Smiling, she opens her arms and gathers Discord into lace and ruffles. The unfamiliar touch makes Discord tense up. She doesn't know what to do. Nothing to worry about, right? The girl's hand pats her back, soft and soothing. Discord breathes in a scent that doesn't match Pollard at all. Nestled against gray hair, her tight muscles loosen. The bullying is brushed aside, a harsh scolding, a token of confinement, and then the instructors and caretakers pretend it never happened. But after the confinement ends, those kids never come near the blue-haired girl again. I'm not bothering you anymore. But what did you do? Did you beat them up? The girl asks incredulously. She just can't picture this teenager using violence. No, I only talk to them, in the same way I'm talking to you. Discord already understands that the girl is far more mature than she looks. She only acts like an ordinary child when it suits her. Don't you get it? Her forehead's already marked. Even you idiots should know some lines can't be crossed. The girl's gentle smile smooths out every anxious ripple in Discord's young heart like a calming touch of magic. From that day on, her time at Pollard grows easier. Discord feels as if she's run back to some simple, sheltered place, even if each day's performance is anything but peaceful. As long as Eleanor is there, there's nothing to fear. All she has to do is follow orders and keep moving. Yet a fate no child should bear succumbs, mercilessly. Final training of the year. Make sure you're ready. Some kids spark with hope at the word final, but the gray, flat eyes around them show that words like these have long since lost their meaning. They're forced to fight each other. The closer the bond, the more deliberately they are paired. The rule is merciless. It slices apart what little tenderness remains. The door opens. They step into a tunnel drowned in pitch black darkness. They descend as a staircase, pass through another door, and hear the heavy clang of a metal slab sealing shut behind them. And finally, one last door. Some children grow restless. Others seem distant, already half absent. It makes no difference to what lies ahead. Complete your task. Kill your companions, or you will all feed the dogs. No, you don't have to kill them. Just knock them out, and it's over. Director Pollard almost never shows up, drops that remark like a stone before passing the microphone back. Training's almost over. No point wasting resources. The other adults glance at each other and shrug. None of them bother explaining to the seldom seen director how important the present conditions are for forging the final nerds of steel. Dozens of trained military hounds come thundering out. They're massive, almost so, some almost as tall as the children. Every set of eyes walks on the central platform, and the growls rumble like distant thunder. Weapons of every kind litter the arena floor. The instructors leave for the muttering room, waiting for the final result of this bloodbath. Of course, running and giving up are pointless too. Partially white blood stains remain on the platform. The air reeks of iron. Discord yanks at the chain linking her neck to another's. Her face twisted in pain. A person must always obey, be a perfect expendable, adapting to the absurd. That's how soldiers were made to be in the world wars. Life and death are performance. 33 ridiculous coin tosses make you believe in fate. You and I are puppets on the stage. Discord doesn't understand the poem like Murmur. He is even more obscure than usual. This girl smiles and switches to a simpler story. Ever heard of your life flashing before your eyes? Take oxygen deprivation, for example. It can cause hallucinations, and a lot of plane crashes when the cabin loses pressure. People pass out almost instantly. Your body's dying, but your brain hasn't caught on yet, so it gives you dreamlike illusions. People who had near-death experiences say they saw all hazy scenes and heard a clear announcer's voice. The moment they step into an unknown river, torches flare to life around them. The flicker of firelight brightens the space. You see people waving to you. Their faces are blurred, but you feel a strange safety and happiness, like an infant in a mother's arms. What are they talking about? I can't hear them clearly. Still this reckless? Are they turning a death test into story time? The girl keeps talking to herself. The speaker warns that if they don't get moving, the present lethal current will be switched on. Are you afraid of death? The young woman walks slowly to the weapons rack, her pale fingers slipping on her sleeve. She smiles like she's unwrapping a gift and reaches for a brand new chainsaw. Discord follows the voice on the loudspeaker and grabs a tactical knife from the upper rack. A suicidal choice. At the monitors, one adult mutters that a few casualties are acceptable, but a massive massacre would be too much. Rosewater's brow furrows, but Discord is busy building the scene Eleanor once described. Her mind is pulled along as she peers down from several meters above into the darkness below. Barking rises and falls from somewhere under the platform. Death is safe and happy? What she sees instead is the opposite. A cool corner hidden from a bustling street. Weak, shadowed, forgotten. She's been there before. Felt it. If no one remembers you, maybe the fire in your chest will finally burn out. The classic gears and chains. The world matters. No exploits arise. The blast of sound forces the girl face her face. Jump from here. That's an order. Her last drag of hope stops. So even Eleanor can't figure out another distribution from the water. Why is the world like this? Is there no hope at all? This girl wants to close her eyes, but isn't allowed to. Her hand grips the chain at her neck, and she starts asking questions. Jump! 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 Okay, that's not a jump. Okay. Just obey the command. With the time to fight blaring from the speakers, she lets the strength reach her body, slides her left foot over the platform's edge, and drops. The fall should be brief. For a moment, feeling under pressure wind, Discord knows nothing. Then the pressure in her neck vanishes. Yet to tell her that whatever was on the other end is suddenly gone. Eleanor, she's past the test now, hasn't she? If all she wanted was to give up, she'd had hundreds of chances already. Tag along! You'll find out soon enough how terrifying it is to become enemy. After that day, I sleep this night. She cheers on Brad's sentence in the beginning of the boy's story, imagining all the ways it might come true. In a blink, a puppy doll seems to appear on her nightstand. In the next, she realizes it's a nightmare. It feels like an unknown force squeezes her heart, slinging her between light and darkness. A good cry is the only thing that could settle her spirit, but crying is something reality never pities. At last, she stretches the fingers that the restraints still out, lips moving soundlessly, tapping a melody from memory into the air. Tap, 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 tap. I absolutely don't want to be Eleanor's enemy, but I also don't want to die. Survival instinct drives her to twist her body in the burst of desperate interest. And her razor-sharp vision lets her see the ground below. Tackled hounds waiting for their meal. For some reason, her downward rush seems to slow for a heartbeat, just enough to finish the adjustment. Dagger clenched tight. The skirt picks her landing spot. Did you catch that move? Someone at the monitors cries out. Discord crashes onto the backs of two hounds, hurling up to execute a cyborg as her arm raises their terrifying things. But when she manages to break her fall, the impact still forces a muffled grunt from her lips. No time to register the pain. She rides some momentum into a low crouch, twists halfway around, and drives her knife hard up into those swelling hound's soft underjaw. Dark blood sprays and twisting ribbons, crawling along the dagger's edge like living worms. I'm guessing she's trying to escape? I don't even know. Another hound, closer this time, lunges with a low, guttural snarl. I don't know if she's trying to survive, but what if she's screaming too? The skirt reacts faster than Dot. She puts away the one whose jaws no longer work, wins the too long chain between both hands, reads the incoming leap, moves to nearest throat, and slams the beast into the ground with brutal force. She twists her wrists hard. The metal nose bites deep, tightening into a foam-flexed muzzle, and its leg goes slack. When did she hide a whip in her sleeve? She slits through the weapon racks, circles again, and uses metal fatigue to saw through the chain on her neck. Hey! She's throwing every gun off the rack! Wait, she jumped down herself. What is she really trying to do? Why are there no cameras underneath? Where are the drones? Panic erupts in the watering room. You suddenly remember the passage beneath the platform, a route to the outside, to freedom. Someone's getting nervous. Well, I thought anyone could escape from Pollard. It isn't just that their abilities have surpassed every adult's expectations. Worse than that, what has been done to these children is something even heaven wouldn't refuse to forgive. Their wills will burn stronger than the sun that every set will set against them. Oh, so I was right, so that was the escaping right to outside. How many is that now? The deafening wall of bargaining fades until she realizes there isn't a single bark left. She likes the blood and sweat running from her nose, and finally sees the breath. Good. I like dogs that bite. This girl looks up, delighted to see the girl walking toward her, still keeping her weight pressed on one gasping hound. As the last whimper disappears into a heavy silence. Eleanor! She runs over, and freezes when she sees the girl no longer spotless. Looks like you're enjoying the game too. She tosses aside a blood-smeared power saw, frowning at her sleeve where reflects a flesh, bone, and blood had marred fabric. Not elegant enough. If only there were a weapon that didn't make me get so close and kept the mess off me. She selects again, this time a modified double-barrel shotgun. Lifts it, and softly mounts a bang as she takes aim. The hound's head bursts. Its body stumbles forward a few more times before dropping, confusion still etched in its movements. 1 point for Eleanor. Ugh, the noise is overdone. Not my taste. Whatever controls this must be dealt with for good. Whisker flicks the chain into the jaws of the last hound, charging toward Eleanor's back. She dives her knife into its heart. The shriek stops. Looks like the game is over? Shame. I forgot to keep score. Ha! She reaches out her cool hand. When her paws meet, Whisker feels herself pulled forward. Dwarf brings Whisker a profound sense of comfort. She lets herself be led by the laughing figure. There are no more enemies to guard against. The bloody arena fades into a phantom ballroom. Hand in hand, they walk across carpets going into dark red. They drift through the grand halls. Their skirts flutter. Their steps are light and free. It is Discord's first ball. She is flicker of the dark moon, the boon of a flower, and the sweep of purple waves, calm on the surface, burning inside. Discord stares at the girl leading her. Interesting how Discord has less bloodstains than Lilith, not gonna lie. Would I one day be like these hounds standing in your way, and finally following commands? It's not the same. You take orders from me. I'm not a slaughter maniac. Those dogs died, but their deaths had value. And your girl stays quiet, so Eleanor turns back and searches her eyes. You don't like it here anymore, do you? It's because they made us kill our own. It's too much. Then we'll be leaving here soon. Coming from her, it sounds like a joke, but deep down, Discord firmly believes it. After that, everything's a blur. She barely remembers the adults wading through the gorge and pulling out, and splitting them apart. Maybe someone even asked why she hadn't opened the door. That's not necessary. Eleanor's voice risks for the next room as Discord sinks into sleep under a net of sensors. It's all for her own good, for her betterment. When she wakes, only bare wall remains, echoing in the emptiness. Metal bunks stand in neat rows. Thin mattresses are stacked flat. No one sleeps here anymore. Every child is gone. Eleanor's got a new home. Isn't that great? Relax. Your new life starts soon. She wasn't wrong. In a cozy bedroom above the last Prada's tailor shop, Discord runs her fingers over the skin where her neck and wrists were once bound. She goes to a side that's far too heavy for a child. What? I thought she was escaping and then all of a sudden she's back in under that guy? What the heck? I don't really understand that one.